Join us over the next few weeks as we follow the route of the stunning Northumberland 250. We've arrived in Bellingham on the route, and I think the first thing we need to do, while there's still one open, because it's Sunday afternoon, is go and grab a coffee. We're at the Rocky Road
in Bellingham. But there's a lot more to it, isn't it?
There is, yeah. We thought it was just a place to pass through and have a coffee, isn't it? Look at this up here. That is quite a feature, isn't it?
Now this is something you don't see. To the volunteers who fought in the Boer War, 1900 to 1902. We don't often see memorials to the Boer War.
Or explained or whatever like that, in honour of the following local members of yeomanry and volunteers.
The yeomanry were the army, weren't they? The local army.
Yeah, and then volunteers were... They weren't conscripts, were they?
No, they're volunteers. They went out to Africa fighting the Boer Wars.
That's very decorative though, isn't it?
It is.
Right up to the lamp at the top. This is Bellingham Town Hall, which is different, quite decorative. You're blinded there with the sun, aren't you? Let's get around. The clock tower. And to the left of us, there's a gun. It's a nice town hall, isn't it?
It is.
Used to tall town halls with more than one floor, one story. This gun here. There's a Chinese gingle. The plinth that the gun stands on houses an unusual relic of the little-known Boxer Rebellion in Imperial
China
at the turn of the last century. And the Boxer Rebellion was an anti-foreign,
anti-colonial, anti-Christian uprising in China that lasted for 2 years?
Yeah, between 1899 and 1901. The weapon found its way into the hands of Commander Edward Charlton, who was at the time serving aboard HMS Orlando as part of the British forces deployed to put down the rebellion. The future Admiral Sir Edward Charlton RN, a member of the Charlton family of Hesley-side Hall, then presented the gun to the people of Bellingham, and it's been here ever since. But I do need to ask you something, Keith.
What?
How's your singing voice today?
Well, the sun's out, so I'm not singing.
Oh, please do. Please sing me a line from The House of the Rising Sun.
Why?
Just do. Just the first line.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun.
It's no from me. This town hall here, a building really that's not in a major town or a major city, was where the Animals, the rock band The Animals, performed The House of the Rising Sun for the first time ever. In this town hall here. It had never been performed anywhere in the country before. So how it came to be performed here, I don't know.
No idea.
That's a quaint bit of history, isn't it? Of pop memorabilia. Many a poor boy. I can't remember the rest of the words.
See, I remembered more than you did.
There is. I know I used to like it when I was a kid, but 1964, that's the year I was born. But we're heading to the church now. The parish church of St Cuthbert, 1180 AD. And it says an old, look at the old stonework in this. The church is open. Churches never cease to amaze me. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you'll know what I mean by this. They always look bigger on the inside. Look at the organ with all the different buttons, the pedal coupler, the pedal board in 16, the open diapason, the sidact, the gamba, the voice celeste, and the flute harmonic. I wonder how long it takes you to learn an instrument like that.
A long time, I'd imagine. St Cuthbert's. And unlike the church we were in before, earlier today, virtually all the windows are stained glass.
This is a grade 1 listed building, which is the highest grade, isn't it, of a listing for a building. 13th century, but substantially reconstructed in the early 17th century. And it's described as almost unique in England, owing to its stone barrel vault, which you can see up there, which runs the length of the nave and extends into the south transept. There were 3 miracles in Bellingham connected with the medieval cult of St Cuthbert, as recorded in the 12th century libellus of Reginald of Durham. I often wonder how, when a church is so old, how things like these memorials are at a later date. Mm-hmm. I think these days you probably need planning permission.
You wouldn't, with it being listed. I suppose back in the day, if you just had the money to the church.
Yeah.
And those two daughters of the Charlton family died 6 days apart, age 6 and age 2. After a few days of illness.
I love how some of these tablets and memorials are worded. This is to a physician and surgeon of this parish who died in 1920. This tablet and window were erected by his many friends as a token of their esteem and respect for his many sterling qualities. This is a very low stained glass window, isn't it? Mm. It's got little
vents.
Wooden vents, yeah. One on either side. This looks... well, it's to a soldier, isn't it, by the look of it, and this panel here.
Michael Spencer and his wife.
This stone marks the last resting place of one of Bellingham's most infamous characters, but no one knows who he was. Legend has it that a peddler called at a lonely Lee Hall and asked to leave his large pack there. Later, a servant called Alice swore she saw the pack move and alerted another servant called Edward, who blasted it with his blunderbuss. Blood gushed, and inside was a dead man, with a silver whistle round his neck. That night, Edward blew the whistle and a gang of men approached the hall, only to be met by a hail of lead from the servants lying in ambush. The raiders scattered, leaving behind only their unknown accomplice, who is here. It's known as the Lang Pack. Down the steps from the church, and there's the square just over in the distance is where we had coffee, and now we're heading to Cuddy's Well.
And for such a small town, village, it's got a historic or history
It has.
Walk, a route around it.
Yeah. There's another sign up there in the graveyard, Historic Bellingham, St Cuthbert's Lower Graveyard. This Northumberland 250, it's got a lot of the important sites listed on the map, hasn't it?
It has.
But if you stop, take your time, look at the route, and Google some of the other places, it's amazing what you find out. This is one we would have just driven through, isn't it?
Yes, it's on the route, but nothing sort of marked apart from sort of coffee shops.
This is why we say, you know, people say you can do the route quickly, but take your time, slow down, do some research. I like doing my research anyway, so it's not an issue for me, but... So this is Cuddy's Well, or St Cuthbert's Well. Legend says that St Cuthbert blessed this natural spring in the 600s. Apparently Cuddy's Well hasn't dried up since. It's true that it kept flowing even through the 1976 drought and the extreme winter of 2008. The Georgian stone structure, or pant, was added in the 1700s or early 1800s. And there are several miracles that are associated with water from the well, which is still used for the baptisms in the church today. Wildlife-friendly planting here reflects Cuthbert's intimacy with nature. Jacob's ladder symbolises his vision of angels, Monk's hood represents his vocation, and St John's wort stands for his devotion to the study of St John's Gospel. The path up the hill, which leads to the church, is one of 3 in the local area that are dedicated to him. First built in the 1100s, only some of the original fabric remains. The church was a regular target for the border reivers. We mentioned the stone barrel vaulted roof in there. Residents obviously tired of its timber predecessors being set alight. So during repair works in 1861, 3 cannonballs were found in the roof, which are thought to date from 1597, when the Duke of Buccleuch's men attacked Bellingham. Legend has it that a girl called Ida suffered a paralysed arm after staying away from church to sew a dress on the feast day of St Lawrence, but she was miraculously cured by an apparition of St Cuthbert after drinking water from the well. I've got a bad knee.
We'll try it.
Not out of the dog bowl one.
No.
Now if this works...
What does that sign say? Do not drink.
Do you need curing of any ailments?
I will try it. I'll say, do we need to fill up with water?
I think the hose has reached down here. Tastes alright, doesn't it?
Very nice.
Could as well.
Now baptised in the church.
It's a nice little place, and amazingly, once you get down into that square, very quiet, even though there's a main road running past. Another nice discovery. Come back to the well. We are going to fill up with some water from St Cuthbert's. It'd be rude not to, really, wouldn't it? While we're here. There are no signs saying don't drink.
We're still surviving from having it earlier.
If you never see this video,
don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water, yeah. If you do see this video, it's quite safe because there have been a lot of videos before this one.
And to be fair, if you'll have seen us trying the water at Harrogate, from a well there,
Yes.
It tastes a lot better than that does.
It certainly does. I don't think I will ever forget the taste of that water at Harrogate. Or the after effects. I've never burped so much in my life as I did from that water. Thank you, St Cuthbert. That's our next lot of drinking water. I'm a bit worried though. Hiya. Nab. I'm a bit worried.
Why?
Well, you've got some water for the kettle now. Will boiling it cancel out any healing properties?
No, come here. And it'd be a shame not to get the dog some fresh water as well. I'm just giving the dogs a bit of a walk. And this is the river, just south of Bellingham. Come on out, Bay.